addicted to you. Visions of you. Come closer, 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 closer. Come closer, 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 closer. Visions of you. Intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter visions of you. Half past 9 and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right.
This live stream is sponsored by SCL, an all-in-one CS2 training platform with a practice server, 2D viewer, and unique training modes like Defense Mode. Defend sites against bot executes that get harder every round. And Trade Fire, a pre-fire mode where enemies actually try to trade you. You can run every mode in co-op and track your progress and stats across all your training. Plus, you get an advanced 2D demo viewer. Use code Crossfire40 for 40% off your first month. That's under $3.
We have made it to the quarterfinals here at Crossfire Season 5. My name is Blakert. I'm joined by the one and only T-Noodle to help guide us through the action. And Noodle, to say that I am excited for tonight's matchup feels like a little bit of an understatement.
Yeah, I mean, we have two behemoths in the NA scene tonight. We got Villainous and Regain going in. Regain, they came out second out of their group, which is amazing to say itself, right? I mean, you expect the team that's been in the championship every single season to come out on top. But they came out second. We have a lot of heavy hitters in Crossfire this season. And right now, I mean, we're at that point of the season where everyone in these quarterfinal matches throughout the rest of the season, it's going to be heavy hitters. We're not really going to really know which way the ball's going to bounce. And yeah, Villainous and Regain, they're going to have a show for us tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a matchup that kind of decides who makes it through the side of the bracket in its entirety. I mean, you touched on how we have two behemoths, Regain and Villainous. Regain with the addition of Honest as well, I want to mention, because Honest has been one nuisance in the scene recently, and I feel like his added firepower alongside Dirk's op, if he's able to make that entrance into the server, is going to be absolutely critical.
Yeah, I got to see Honest with the game casting with you a few weeks ago for the first time, and just seeing him for the first time, I was like, oh my god, because this roster, when I already saw Dirk and the rest of the squad, they were amazing. We touched on it. It was adding Thanos to the Avengers. This team went from great to amazing, and like I'm just excited for the show they're going to put on, because the balance between Dirk and Honest, just they're both going to be hitting 20 every single game.
Yep, and in terms of Regain, to kind of touch on some of their recent results, they unfortunately did not qualify to the closed qualifier of Blast Porto. They fell 1-2 versus Marsborn in the semifinals, and then had an overtime affair that they lost 13-6 versus Notorious. But in terms of the results towards the playoffs, you mentioned that they were the second seed in Group A, only losing to Overtake Sector. But they were able to go flawless up until this point after that little mishap with a 2-0 victory over Outfit 49, which I believe is now under the banner of Arctic Ace Esports. They 2-0'd versus New Legends, and in our round of 16, they found a victory against Third Prime. So going into tonight, I have high expectations for this roster because, like we said, the addition of Honest is there, and I feel like they understand the mistakes that were made against Overtake, but it's a matter of whether or not they can actually put that band-aid over. However, for Villainous, they are the #1 seed in Group D and have gone actually flawless through this whole stage. In the group stage, they were 2-0 versus Holly Molly, 2-0 versus Monesium, 2-0 versus My Life Be Like, and in the round of 16, 2-0 versus Celestial Esports. So I feel like this is going to be a battle of the Titans.
Yeah, like you said it earlier, right? Villainous and Regain, we feel like it's the ones who are going to be making out of this half of the bracket, and they're there for a reason. That being said, we also do have Festina and Raised by Pixels going on tonight. We'll try to keep you guys updated on those scores. But yeah, Villainous and Regain, that is the show to watch tonight. And Regain, they're in the finals every season. Wouldn't be surprised if that happens again, but Villainous has a really good chance tonight to stop that. And if they do, I mean, that's going to be a team definitely to watch.
Yeah, and I think that a big part of this matchup is going to come down to the pick and bans. It feels like Honest and the rest of Regain is a team that really thrives under the pug playstyle matchups. But Villainous is a team that likes to take their time with the structure. And speaking of that structure, we do have those pick and bans. And T-Noodle, we have a little bit of that kind of puggy playstyle map that I was touching on. But Inferno, our decider, is one that I feel like Villainous should be able to take if we need it.
Yeah, it's a tale of those kinds of maps, right? You can really just shoot your way through an Ancient. You can shoot your way through an Anubis. Inferno, it can get so grindy where you don't even necessarily have to be shooting the best. You can really just find a way if you have your protocol set and you just have you just have your baseline together. But Ancient Anubis, I would really expect the firepower just to go crazy here for Regain. That being said, I mean, Villainous, they're a flawless team here in Crossfire for a reason. Yeah, I haven't been able to see too much of them throughout Crossfire, but I mean, they've been a team to notice throughout this season, and yeah, I mean, there's a reason they're at this point.
Yeah, and in terms of Villainous's recent results, they lost 9-13 in that same qualifier that Regain competed in. They were semifinalists in ESEA Season 57 finals, though, so a little bit of a statement to be made. But in terms of the Crossfire results, it feels like they've had more showings on Anubis, whereas Regain only have 1 or 2 across the groups and the round of 16. But each time that Villainous have been able to get to that map of Anubis, they have had relative ease flying through it. A 13-3 victory on this map versus My Life Be Like, and then also a 13-3 victory versus Monesium on this very map. So I feel like Anubis leans a little bit more in the way of Villainous, but definitely I'm expecting all 3 maps.
Yeah, there's a reason they picked it. Anubis, we said it could be puggy, but it could be very, very detail oriented, right? There's a lot of protocols that you can go. There's a lot of set plays that you can run early. And if Villainous really just goes deep in their playbook tonight, Regain might not be ready. I mean, that being said, the firepower of Regain might be able to hold it regardless. But I mean, that strap book goes deep, as they've demonstrated throughout ESEA, throughout Crossfire so far this season. Those teams that they've beaten on it are no slouches. And yeah, they're going to have a test here, and I think they're going to make that one a close one.
Yeah, and in terms of the rosters, I mean, it feels like for the side of Regain, the clear player to watch is going to be Honest. The recent addition after about a month of hiatus from competitive play, but still never lost that shine and that sparkle that he's known for. And then when you're combining with that AWP that Dirk has, it feels like it's a match made in heaven. I mean, you talked about it, how we mentioned it was like Thanos being added to the Avengers, you know, so it's a very compelling argument that Regain should be able to find the victory. It's just a matter of how much ease it comes with, if you ask me.
Yeah, and the fun thing about that is I know when you add a high firepower player, it's really sometimes a difficult time to adjust. but hasn't been that adjustment period. Dirk has been able to find his repeatedly, and everyone, whenever we watch this, we watch Sasha, we watch Zukar, they're just so crucial in that mid round when things just don't go right, when things are a little bit close in that 3v4, you see them kind of close that gap for themselves. And then Grape, he's been so consistent. Like he might not be like fragging like crazy, but he feels like that anchor on that team. It's like all right, he might be around that 10 to 15 kills usually, but whenever he's like alone on a site or in a clutch, he's gonna either bring it close or find a way to pull them out of it. So I mean, that team, it's just 5 players that just can trust each other fully to do what their job is.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think that Villainous, in my eyes, are going to come into this being a little bit of the underdog, although they have found some better results recently. I just feel like the firepower from Regain is there. But in terms of that Villainous roster, I'm going to be looking for both Sunk and Panic to be alive. It feels like Panic has been a vital lifeline for this Villainous roster. And I'm looking to see if he comes into the server hot or needs to kind of bring himself into the game, because I feel like Villainous are a team that are not a team to actually disrespect their opponent, but actually respect how comfortable one another are on that map. And so I'm almost expecting some shift in the tonality, at least in the gameplay, from Villainous.
Yeah, and Ancient, it is one of those maps where it can be one that's just so quick, especially in that middle, especially towards that catwalk on B. You can see a team really get punched in the mouth early. You can see a CT side tend to slip really early because the rounds just get so close and so quick. You just keep, it's like, all right, if we buy one more time, we might be able to crack their economy, and then it just doesn't happen, and then you're never able to get those guns set. Suddenly you're 6 rounds in the hole. So, I mean, it's always tough to climb back out of that. But, I mean, Villainous, we know their protocols. We know their sets. They're going to be able to dig deep. I mean, they were in the ESA finals for a reason, right? So, I mean, they're going to be able to handle a team like Regain. They've done in the past. So, I mean, we'll see what happens tonight. And it's going to be a show for sure.
So before we get into this series, I want to ask you off the bat. I feel like I made my prediction a little bit clear, at least in terms of 2-1 towards Regain. But what are you thinking here? What's kind of molding up in the brains in terms of how you think this is going to sway?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Overtake Sector, we know they were a good team, and so, but when they beat Regain, that really surprised me early on this season. And then Regain, when they went against Third Prime, I was like, it was my old childhood team. All those players. I was like, all right, that game might be fun, right? It wasn't. Regain just completely stomped them. But Villainous is not Third Prime. Villainous is definitely a much better team. So I'm excited to see what happens. That being said, what I've been seeing from Regain, I'm definitely leaning them. I would even go far enough to say it could end up being a 2-0. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a 2-1 either way, but right now my heart's telling me 2-0 because they've been on fire.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we agree there. I feel like the 2-0 is a little bit of a wild call, if you ask me. But we did mention it. It's a map like Anubis where you can also shoot your way through, but you also need some level of strategy to it. But in terms of Ancient, where we're about to head, this is a map that Regain feels very proficient on, and we sound like broken records talking about Honest at this point, but I feel like he's going to be a main part of the T side for Regain, just trying to fight for that mid control, fight for the control up shelf, and really trying to make his impact felt across the server. Whereas I feel like on a map like Anubis, it's going to be a little bit more Dirk being that backbone with that AWP.
Yeah, I mean, you're really caught between a rock and a hard place between those two players. Dirk is so patient with that op, and he's so consistent. Really not going to be happening. But right now, we actually do have the game coming up just shortly. And we're going to be coming into Ancient.
It is map number 1 between Villainous and Regain. That being Ancient. The map pick of, I believe it's going to be Regain. Yes, we talked about this earlier. Villainous will take the optimal side of things on the CT side, but the pistol round from Regain comes a little bit of a deviant. Player towards bottom ramp, acting as a thorn in the side, maybe even a recon drone, but Dylan is already close top ramp. Those dual Berettas not going to be focused for too much longer.
Yeah, B-split coming in here. Already a dink onto Panic. It's going to be Sasha finding that first kill on a Jolt. Look at the corner is Dylan, but he's tearing them up. Trades going back and forth, and now it's going to be 3v2. Quickly on the rotation has been Burglar. Sunk also coming on that flank. This is going to be a tough hold for the T's. Positioning is not great. Sunk will find out Sasha, so now we're on a 2v2 hit right now. not in the hands of the CTs, just dancing around the pillar. Really gonna have to come alive just around that site, but Honest already making a flank. Dirk getting the kill. It's the dynamic duel we mentioned, but Sunk wants to sink them. The 1v1 bomb gets tapped, and he's not biting. He's not taking the bait. Sunk is just here. He's stuck in a position. Timer going down. He can't do it. Time has already ran away. Sunk is dipping, and Dirk is going to take this round. Not his life, but 1-0 here for Regain.
Yeah, there's a beautiful patience play on that post plant from Dirk. Honest had a great play as well to walk through short to try and catch any of the rotating or additional rotating players off guard, but considering there was no one home, he was able to find the flank towards long, but that didn't end up mattering in the terms of the grand scheme of the round. It was Dirk doing a majority of the heavy lifting. As a result, they'll have the rifles, 2 MAC-10s, the latter of which being on Sasha and Zukar's hands. But Villainous are convinced they can still pull this one off. SMG buys come through. Panic going to be the only one to draw the short end of the stick, but Stunk still has that rifle that could be of contest.
Right now, though, is holding a good angle. Is going to see that elbow first. Bit of damage done. Already going to fall out. That smoke going deep into A main is going to give a lot of wiggle room here for the CTs. We'll see how Regain does adjust to take some map control back. They're going to be smoking out mid, taking over mid completely. And now this is that accordion play that they need to take in this push and pull throughout mid. Looking to adjust and see if they can take over Donut. Burglar right up close and right now dead. It's going to be a trade from Dylan. Might get 2, but that's all they're going to have. It's going to be a 3v3 set going into the remainder of this round.
Yeah, you can see that Sasha is still playing hall monitor towards shelf. Takes the timing into Cheetah, but might let Jolts through. And the reaction from Villainous is to try and re-clear towards mid. Gather some semblance of information as to whether or not Regain are committing to this angle, but Drake is going to separate the head from the shoulder. Swings into 2 more, but it's only good for one of those. Panic picks up the FAMAS, but to no avail. That's a second round for Regain.
Yeah, really good shots there coming up from Regain. I was liking the positioning plays there from Villainous. Regain, they're just taking advantage of those 1v1s that are being given to them, and they're just making do with it. They're winning all of these fights so consistently, and that's putting them on a 2-0 start. Likely going to be 3-0 off the backs of this eco coming up.
Yeah, they are upgraded pistols, so I don't think all hope is lost. We've seen some crazy things here in Crossfire Season 5. Mid pressure, though. Dukar going to be the one close by house. And is hearing the footsteps of Burglar actually rotating towards B, so there's an angle to pivot away if you're Regain, based on the information, but it all comes with the fact that the CTs might actually discover the location. They're going to bust down the B site instead, though. Dirk and Sasha good for kills of their own. Sasha doubles up, almost finds the third, but requires the assistance from Honest. It's sunk into the 1v5, but only has 5-7 in hand, and surely he's going to meet his maker sooner rather than later.
Regain is already playing that incredible fast pace. I mean, they did know that the buy was definitely going to be light there on the Villainous side, but just the aggression, the confidence of those peaks, and the confidence supported by the shots they're hitting. Like every time they're peaking, it's very consistently a gush or a dink really early on. They are on point as they consistently are. We'll see how it goes going to the first full gun round of this game.
Key note is that Sunk has that AWP in hand. Not going to be one to contest from the side of Regain. Bonus will help them in the long run. Sasha came out taking aggressive positioning towards shelf. Sunk has a sliver of an angle out towards Donut, but vision will be obscure. The Molotov deep into house is actually going to force Dylan away from the fight. But the smoke will completely obscure the vision instead. Regain are looking to corral around the B bomb site and find some sort of entrance in that allows them to bust down the doorstep, and them catching the boost might actually be their undoing. Wing comes in, Jolt's able to knock down one. Sasha and Honest good for the 2 trades. And as the utility flies over the top of the head, Dylan's going to be the first responder.
These trades have been good. Now it's going to be Zukar. Kind of stuck in this corner, gets taken out. Here we are, 3v3 once again. We find ourselves in, make it a 3v2. Very low HP on both Dylan and Burglar. Oh, this is going to be very tough for the CTs to climb back into this one. All three coming from that CT spawn. Sasha up close, looking to peek on this. Op holding the angle, but Grape is going to find that kill. That's going to make it very tough for the CTs, even harder. And they're all getting cleaned up. 4-0 start here for Regain.
Grape being the man of the hour. Able to find the crisp headshot onto the Opper holding from short. And surprisingly, that op is not going to be recycled into round 5. I'm surprised that Dirk hasn't requested it. There's an old saying I like to use, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, in the rifle of Dirk. Definitely putting in work. Gonna be a mid-crunch, or at least from the looks of it. Honest goes peering around the corner, has to be cautious of both players, but has support at his hip. Comes in, Honest good for one, immediate trade from Burglar. Nothing else on top. The defensive smoke is deployed, but Sasha gonna try and offer assistance to Zukar. This ramp play that's being prepped up from Jolts has to get going, or else it's gonna be completely foiled. And the HE grenade missing from Sasha forces him to go swinging. But Jolts does punish for the overzealous swing, and Regain in the meantime have found a free walk out towards the A-bomb site.
There's an AK on Burglar in Donut right now. To make things awkward, he's going to go for a 1-for-1 trade. Pushing up from CT was Dylan, who did a bit of damage on the Dirk. However, he found his way to scurry away towards that B site, and it's going to be on Zukar to cut off this rotation. Good reads here from Regain. It seems like every time the other team is pushing, we're seeing Regain pull. They are manipulating this map completely, and it's going to work out probably as Zukar is going to be watching. However, he's watching two angles at the same time.
Yeah, finally makes the retreat back towards the site. Turns away at the wrong timing, though, as Dylan now make his entrance towards street. Flashbang rings over the top. Zukar hits the floor. Dirk is left into the 1v2. I'm planning for the peak, so that's going to entice the likes of Villainous to go hunting, and once they do find the location, the secondary gunfight will come, but Jolts narrowly misses his fate with an HE grenade. Dirk not buying it early, but still goes late, and it's not enough time. It's a 5th round for Regain as Jolts fails to step up to the plate.
The amount of time that Villainous took to cross, that was what got them a kill onto Zukar, right? Because he was holding that cross, eventually went away, eventually was able to find that 1v1, but that time that they took ended up being what bit them in the behind there as Regain do take that 5-0. And yeah, this is just some great positioning plays here from Regain. Really, Villainous not having any answers just yet. They're going to be bringing an op back into this next round, and they look to kind of just reset the pace here.
Yeah, I'm expecting the op of Sunk to really have an impact. Feels like Sunk has been flying under the radar ever so slightly. That first time he had the AWP wasn't too much of an effect. Still, Regain, all rifles all day. Plenty of money in the bank accounts as well. Bonus being padded by that max loss, so it will have some semblance of this buy to go with the AWP. Dylan has the MP7. A great angle to play is outside Donut. There's exactly where he'll maintain watch. Early utility, though, back towards the B bomb site. Regain are just putting the pedal to the metal. Jolts is able to collect one to his name, and this reswing comes from Panic, but he's immediately traded by Dirk. Dirk looking for the timing out long, but it's going to be Sasha instead. Look towards endgame, and oh my lord, Burglar's line 2 up. He's knocked both of them down, and Zukar, his location has been revealed as a 1v2, but the MP7 already close in proximity, but he catches a little bit of a jump peek and will not catch anything more than bullets to the face. It's the donut to the breadstick if you're Villainous.
Yeah, Burglar just really coming up huge right there, peaking at just the right time. An awkward spot there from Regain. I was just about to hype up how consistent they were with their trades, but Burglar did a good job not really giving them a chance to. They were resetting, trying to get a little bit wider on their positioning, trying to get that bomb down in a safe post plant scenario. But Burglar just able to nip that one in the bud very early, so they're able to get this first one. Now they're playing even more aggro. Sunk. This is what we need. We need that Opera to get these aggro peaks. He will get flashed out. He is stuck in this cubby. Now Molly's going to make things a little bit awkward on that reposition.
Sasha able to collect that AWP, though. It's one hell of an investment knocked out of the hands if you're Villainous. Reposition has come in. The rotation from Burglar to offer assistance. It's going to be Burglar to find the first. Reswing is hesitant from the side of Regain, but Dylan's still trying to encroach and will be punished for the peek. There's an additional rotation happening towards House, and that's going to be Panic to make the arrival. Too late after the smoke.
Yeah, timings right now, they've been mostly favoring Regain. They're very patient on this. Still 55 seconds on this round. Lots of utility on the belt of Grape. Util starting to dwindle down for the CT side. Gets even lower as Panic will fall. One on A, one towards B at the moment. It's going to be a peek across, and it's going to be Burglar finding two again. He is traded out, though, and that's going to be a 3A bomb site. Quickly on the rotate is going to be Jolt. Still worried about where that flank may be. Smoke still cutting him off. Re-smoke there. Going to cut him off even more. Jolt going to get a little bit zealous on that. He's going to start pushing. He's going to get the timing. Going to get the one kill. And now he has to find the second player. Right up close. Zukar going to have to come up huge. 1v1. Right up close. Right in sniffing range of each other. But Zukar will get it together. And it's going to be 6 rounds on the board here for Regain.
Yeah, and I would have liked to see Jolts go and try and hard clear the left angle, or even the right for that matter, because that's even more information he could have worked with in the post plant. Zukar did have a Molotov going into the late timer, but didn't even have to use it. We'll pick up a MAC-10 for his troubles, but Regain, although they pick up the round, still a little bit hard to come by for cash. Sasha's going to be sent out towards mid from elbow and is continuing this charge all the way towards Donut. So possibility that Burglar gets caught out in the open as he currently has, but the defensive smoke will limit the options that Regain actually have to work with.
What a hell of a read here from Regain. However, Skunk is staying alive in this corner. Right there, eventually going down. 4v4 is the scenario as the bomb is looking to get pushed up a little bit closer towards site. Weird, smoking out Temple, lots of damage done. T's are going to have a very tough time holding it. However, they still have a lot of util to keep the pushes. A little bit of a delay, but they haven't planted yet.
And looking to find a fight that favors them, but Jolts instead is raining down hellfire. It's Sunk to clean up the mess. And a second round from Villainous. I loved that. Not getting too over-aggressive on the taps of the bombs, just waiting for the fights to come to them. And it is a textbook scenario where you're just waiting for that bomb to go down. But Villainous do come out on top, and as a result, I mean, Regain have to sell their shoes to pull off this buy. We see Tech 9s, we see one Galil, and a MAC-10 in the hands of Honest. How much that will actually help their cause becomes the next question.
They're going to quickly go up catwalk right here, getting up close in cave. They're going to get that first kill onto Honest. Trade there back from the hero of last round. It is going to be Jolts. So now it's going to be 4v4. 2 in CT. Flank going to be taken out by Burglar. And it's another kill going down for Grape. So it's going to be 4v2 advantage for the CT side. Bomb does get punched down. So money in the pockets of the T's. It'll be a tough hold though. 1 kill. 1 for 1 as now it's going to be Honest. It is 1v3. Gets taken out through the smoke. And that's going to be third. Villainous has some momentum.
Yeah, Regain have guaranteed themselves at least a tie going into the second half, but Villainous still on that upward trajectory. Plenty of money for them, so Sunk should be able to purchase an op if he so pleases. Regain, on the other hand, starting to look a little bit linear in terms of some of their approaches to these bomb sites.
Yeah, things have definitely fallen off quite a bit for them. Hero AK onto Honest. Definitely can make some magic work with just him on that gun. Liking the passive approach here from Villainous. Knows that the buy should be low. Making sure none of them get caught out in a 1v1. That nade booming should get a kill. Is going to miss that shot. Now they're going to be scurrying up through Donut. All by himself is going to be Burglar. Has a nade out. Might get caught out there by Sasha coming around the corner. They're going to look to play it as a full 5v5 retake. Already 1 kill. Monk is going to miss another kill, but the USP is doing work. Finding 3 right there. Honest and Sasha going to be the last 2, but now there is none alive. Villainous pick up number 4.
I still think it's a relatively successful round from Regain, however. 1 hero, AK-47, everyone else on Glocks, and you're able to find 2 kills in the bomb plant, so Cash has been injected into that back pocket. The Villainous are collecting the rounds, and that is what matters at the end of the day. Finding that 13. AWP into the hands of Sunk. I'm curious to see where he's actually going to position it.
What kind of adjustments Regain has once again? Once again, it's another default. New position towards mid, new towards B, and the aggro play coming up from Dylan is able to take one elbow player already off the board here before Regain. Some re-aggression here as Zukar will get a trade back on the Burglar. Jolt is down at a very low HP, and Sasha gonna pick up another kill onto the B bomb site. One flanking though. We do have Panic starting to push through with his M4, and he has potentially the bomb. It's gonna be Dirk, knife in hand. He's gonna be caught. Surprise! And that's two more bodies going down, as Sasha and Grape are gonna be the last two players remaining. Panic is gonna be able to hold it down, gonna get that one kill, and suddenly it's only gonna be Sasha. He entered onto the B bomb site earlier. Now he's gonna have to take out all three. Smoked out completely from Cave. Gonna look to push it. Has to look both ways before he crosses. Right now, timing is gonna work out for him. That is a shocker there. Gonna continue pushing, but it's gonna be stunk.
And Villainous have made, the proper adjustments in its entirety to really bring the CT side back. It feels like they've been playing a little bit further back onto these bomb sites, but haven't been afraid to take the openings when they find them. And whether it's with the push all the way towards Ruins from Panic, or even just the passive play from Sunk on the AWP back towards the A bomb site, it feels like it's all working according to plan. However, Regain's plan this time is going to be a forceful push down mid, and they're looking to take the fight right into Red Room. Zukar able to convert the first, but Sunk is wrangling that AK spray to find his second. It's Dirk instead to find trades, but still, Jolts has arrived in the nick of time. The rotation has been a little bit too hefty, though, as there's an opening towards the B bomb site, but Sasha mows all. Burglar thrown into the 1v2. Honest has full HP, and that's someone that we've been very highly touted on. Burglar's made the rotation, or so Regain think. It's a charge back towards Donut, a foot race to the A bomb site at this point, but Burglar is hot on the tracks. Flashbang towards CT, number's going to be punched in, a minute turned into 40 seconds, but Burglar, he's taking the right approach. Sasha starts to clear it, but won't have the reactions in time. Honest, all he can do is wait for the peak to come to him, or wait for the wires to start to be cut. Grenade over the top. Burglar has the back turned. And Honest seals the deal. It's a 7-5 lead for Regain as we head into the second half of Ancient.
Yeah, really digging deep in the strat book of Regain, right? If quick plays aren't working, we can always be quicker. Interesting how that round turned on its head, though, with all that contact over there towards that towards the house and middle. But really, it was just a real tall task here to be able to clutch that 1v2. Regain slipped from that 6-1 lead, falling all the way to 7-5. They have a chance here to reset and retake back their momentum here on this next pistol.
Yeah, it all starts here, though. A missed Red Room smoke, not exactly what you want to start off the second half. Especially when your play is going to lean towards mid. 4 members of Regain await the response, but still, the damage goes in favor of Villainous. Immediately after the fight as well, Panic is looking to take the timing back in towards the B site. He's going to find the door wide open. Sasha's the only one home, and he's already dropped to 8 HP. There's a fight coming towards long, and Regain still aren't quite ready for it. Sasha's only good for 1, but is still having a hard time chopping down Panic, and Panic has lived up to the name.
Yeah, what a hell of a play there from Villainous, right? It got a little bit worrisome. I was like, oh, they're going to go B where no one is right now, and then going up into the stack. Somehow win the stack v stack and then reposition into the right spot. Hell of a read there from Villainous, and now they're going to be able to take this advantage against this low buy coming up from Regain, as they're probably just going to be doing a little bit of upgraded pistols. We'll see what happens.
The room smoke hits its mark in round 14. However, all of Regain corralled on this B site. Looking for the stack to catch some sort of Red Room walkthrough. According to the mini-map, Villainous might walk right into this. But, of course, as I say it, Regain start refocusing their gaze back towards mid, where it's only going to be Burglar home. Has a Galil, but has to line up the spray to find all 5 kills. Converts the headshot onto Zukar, drops an HE grenade as a parting present. But he's done his job. He's held the rotations in place. Regain are trying to take advantage of their current position.
Jump that gun in the process. Up close is going to be Panic. Going only 1 for 1. Teammate there to support a little bit further back. It's going to start pinching. It's going to be the kill onto Dirk. Yeah, everything is just going the way. We're all tied up here at 7 after this game started off in a 6-1 lead here for Regain.
Yeah, Rifle starting to make their appearance. Regain have an opportunity to find their footing. Has to change here, has to change now. Villainous have Galils and Mac 10s, and that brought them success in the last. They're about to run straight into the wall that is Zukar. Molotov to dissuade the push. Panic goes charging in regardless, though, and is able to convert a kill. It's going to be sunk to find the second player on site. And with the smokes refreshed, both CT and towards Donut, it already feels like Regain are completely locked out of this bomb site. The M4's been picked up. Sasha's doubling back towards Red Room, but it only feels like it's to clear information and guarantee this save, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Regain cut their losses early and are trying to take the rifles into the next, but a beautiful pop from Villainous.
Yeah, they really just caught them off guard. Regain was not ready for a push that quick here, especially coming up from the Villainous side. Molly was thrown just a little bit too late, and they are already run out on a bomb site before they could even react. So it's left to hunt these 2 guns. Regain really going to have to figure out how they want to adjust here, because next fight, even with these guns, would be tough. It's even tougher when you do lose that body, and it's going to be both bodies dropping. 8-7 now is the scoreline. A little bit of upgrades on this next round, but Villainous, they're really on a groove of late.
Yeah, it's that late map footing that we were talking about. Villainous, a team known for their structure. That structure should come in with this tack timeout. It feels like they've found success, but it's more so about adjusting to how Regain have been currently showing them looks. And if we take a look at the scoreboard, it feels like a lot of the heavy lifting has been evenly dispersed across this Villainous lineup. Whereas for the side of Regain, it's been all Honest and Sasha. Dirk, Grape, and Zukar. 8 and 9 kills. Round 16, still on the horizon. Nothing but MP9s and upgraded pistol. A singular MP9 and upgraded pistols for Regain. But I'm wondering if that's going to lead to an aggressive push. Maybe down B ramp, maybe through A main. Feels like Honest is going to make that MP9 work, but has to get close enough for that engagement.
They're going to need to do something aggressive here. Waiting for the plays to come to them has not been working as of late. Now we're going to see how it plays out. So very patient. Sasha getting found out just a little bit close. Just so patient right now, not wanting to run into any pistol stacks. We've seen the pistol stacks already played out here by Regain very often. Right up close. We'll be able to find them out. That is going to be smoke going down, and they're going to be pushing. Nope, they decided to pop a U-turn. And they're just patient. Yeah, 62 seconds left on the board.
There's still a lot of time for Regain to make adjustments. But likewise for Villainous as well. We can see the bomb starting to make its rotation back through T-spawn. Maybe reunite with the forces on A. Smoke towards Red Room will definitely halt Dirk in place. Also going to draw Zukar back towards mid. And on the B side for Regain, they're starting to pack up and move as well. Regain, although they think they've read this situation properly, Villainous are trying to adjust. Entry kill from Dylan. Honest still up close with the MP9, is able to convert a kill. Has to wrangle that MP9 spray, but picks up the AK with his lack of bullets, and that's the bomb down. plenty of pressure from Honest, but he can either retreat or keep fighting, and he's going to keep fighting. It's the hat trick for him, still trying to defend against Panic, but Panic has that bomb utility on the belt as well and knows there's a player in Donut, but it's a matter of the angles he can be playing. Dukar misses the spray, though, and Honest is good for 4. We're tied up at 8-all going into round 17.
And that hero MP9 really did some heroic work right there. That quick thinking to pick up that AK was able to do some magic work there from Honest, and that might have just been that pep in their step that they needed. So still no off on the board here for Dirk, but they finally have a stable gun round here on their CT side. It's going to be their first opportunity with full util, and this is where things can get tough. Villainous playbook does run deep. However, when Regain is really set with their util and let these fights come to them, they can do work. And Honest is doing so much work. Getting 4, wants 5, but it's going to be Dirk stealing the highlight. But it's 9-8 for the Goats.
I'm kind of speechless after that. I mean, Honest being able to find the 2 kills down ramp, immediate with the turnaround, converting 2 more. I mean, it is beautiful. And we talked about Honest was like Thanos putting on his gauntlet. I mean, look at the scoreboard, 21-12. Doing a majority of the heavy lifting in the past 2. Still has to convert for his team. He's going to be sent out mid on his lonesome, though, in round 18 to try and find a conversion. It's upgraded pistols and Glocks for the side of Villainous. He's still swinging with confidence. Honest going to rip the head from the shoulders of Burglar. That should prompt Villainous to put the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, it's showtime for Honest, and it's all starting to come through. 2 players right now in cave, 2 towards that ramp position. Dylan trying to peek, trying to make that Deagle sting, but now it's Stasha's turn to add to the board. It's going to get that first kill. Smoke and be forcing a push there. However, we do see 2 kills here from the T side, but it's just going to be a wall bang from Grape closing it out, and it's going to be 10 now here as Regain are swimming in it.
And it's kind of crazy how the momentum has shifted at the drop of a hat. Villainous, if they keep giving Honest space to work with down bottom mid, it just frees him up to go and support either of the bomb sites. A little bit of change in pace. This Burglar is going to be the one to keep Honest at bay, but Honest has changed his angle of approach. On a hit from the side of Villainous, spearheaded by Burglar going through mid. Dukar put under the bright lights and has to convert, misses the AK spray at first, and Burglar's actually going to make the getaway. A creative smoke towards Donut will obscure the vision, but Honest takes out Burglar, and that's mid control regained from the likes of the Goats. Numbers punched in, Panic with a sleeper of a shot onto Sasha. But now, Honest, Grape, and Zukar all have to mount this retake. Try and coordinate with each other because the post plants have already been established, including Panic back in towards main as that insurance policy. Utility narrowly misses. Smoke towards front sight. Honest able to rip the head off. Panic has been drawn out from main. All 3 players starting to try and pincer, but that bomb defusal is not actually coming through until late. But Honest, he wrangles it. He finds the ace, and Regain find 11 instead. It's an absolutely dominant display from him.
This is absurd what we're seeing. When we had that scoreboard on that timeout earlier, we already talked about how Honest was on top. He was at 14 kills. That was about 3 or 4 rounds ago. This guy just added 13 kills in just the blink of an eye here. Went from about 14-9 or 14-10 to 27-12. He has single-handedly put his team in his backpack and just moved them along on that scoreboard. Villainous has no answers for this. There's no playbook that can just tell you that someone is just going to pop out of a smoke, tear 2 of your players, and then 180 take out a third. It just, what Honest is doing is just remarkable.
I mean, and it feels like the natural counterplay, right, is to try and isolate Honest in one of his overzealous peaks, but the issue is that Honest changes his angle of approach round after round after round. Whether he runs out of Red Room to take the fight mid, is running towards Cheetah to try and find impact towards B or A, or even playing into A main. It just feels like Honest is all over the map, and all that Villainous can do is try to run people down with an AK-47 and a Galil. They're down to their knees, but Burglar, he's done the heavy lifting. He's taken out Honest. And the round feels like it's doable once more for Villainous.
But there's lots of heroes on this side of Regain. Still going to be a 4v4 after the evening kill by Zukar. He is starting to vacate the A bomb site, though. It seems to be a 3-1 setup, and it might be the right read at just the moment. Dirk catching a bit of a leg on the jump.
I don't think he did.
Oh, maybe not. Jolts will be able to find that first kill. Tracking a bit into this B bomb site, but he's going to be the lurk. Bomb starting to reposition and move over towards that A bomb site where nobody is home. Repositioning, though, is going to be Zukar. And he has to do the heavy lifting this round. He's watched Honest do it the last few. Zukar just keeps spectating this AK. Maybe he's ready for a highlight reel to come through. Calling for that util. His presence has been known. So numbers starting to get punched down. 3v3s this retake scenario. These escapes, these post plants have been established here. And it seems to be all going to Donut.
Yeah, it's interesting because if Regain elect to completely subvert the mid gap, and it leaves the door wide open for Villainous to find the walkthrough. That's exactly what Panic is trying to pull off. Has a Galil to deal with the late round. Not a lot of utility for Regain. Burglar's able to separate the head from the shoulders, is looking for the reswing, but can't collect the dots in time. Is Panic instead to activate out of CT spawn, and Villainous will pick up a 9th, all at the hands of Burglar.
Yeah, that round, Villainous just walked away with it. You can almost see like that sigh of relief once they took out Honest so early. Zukar, I mean, getting that initial kill was nice and all, but like just nothing else was able to come alive here for that Regain side. So we're still going to be seeing an op come up on this round. Dirk, I really was expecting to see a little bit more. He's been kind of shut out with this op so far, not able to do too much with it. And we're going to need to see some more. Can't just put on a show here.
Absolutely not, especially when Honest is doing all of the heavy lifting. You need some sort of contribution, but there is the exact moment we were talking about. Dirk has found the opening pick onto Burglar, but the ramp clear has come. It might be a little bit too late because Villainous are trying to take their timing back in towards Cave. Where only Grape is here to rebound it. Dirk has that AWP and is playing this close angle towards Red Room, but Dylan might walk right into the jaws, but puts the parking brake on instead. Should have heard Dirk backing up. Regain have ramp control, so it becomes a little bit of a predicament as to where they make their next move. Dirk has already rotated towards Temple to cover A main. Zukar playing very passive into Donut. It's only a matter of time until Dylan finds his point of activation. Grape decides to commit back towards this B bomb site, but the spot has been made. Dylan gonna smoke off, I believe that's the Spirit Smoke. Actually misses, so still visual for Honest to gather. Well-timed smoke towards top ramp.
They've been pulled so far off of B. They were very deep earlier. Now they're coming through, but it's going to be a kill there from Honest. Right there is on that pillar. Jolts will get that trade onto him, so now it's going to be a 4v3 advantage. Make it a 3v3 as there's the flank, hindering them away. It's going to be another kill from Jolts. 3v2 now. Dirk has to go close. Dirk will get that kill. That's going to be 2 on this round now. Might be Dirk's round. His time to shine. Right up close. It's Zukar getting that kill. And now it's just going to be 1 remaining. It's Sunk versus Zukar. Sunk has been good this game, and he's good right now, putting Villainous up to 10. And this round, this game is 1 round away.
Yeah, and Sunk going to pick up his weapon of choice. EWP ripped away from Regain. And not a lot of money if you Regain either, so they now have a interesting crossroads that they have to decide on how they're going to approach. Honest has the MP9, more upgraded pistols, so maybe some more of that same stack towards B and have Honest on the boost of A. Instead, Honest has gone charging towards Cave. Molotov picks away, but Panic converts the kill wall blind instead. Sasha is here to try and find contact close by, but is forced out by the Molotov, and that's plenty of space for Villainous to start making up their minds as to where they want to go.
With Honest down, I mean, that was just a good read there by Villainous. Not only they threw that molly, but that nade, because they know Honest has been aggro. It's either, there's only so many spots that he could do it. Able to take him down right there. 5v4 is the advantage. However, we're seeing a flank here coming from Zukar. Has a chance with this shot. He's going to get that first kill. And it's going to be a push down ramp from Sasha. Suddenly, this round is spun into a 4v3 advantage off the back of these pistols. A little jump shot there from Jolts, but Jolts is going down as well. And it's going to be a kill from Grape, so now it's only going to be Dylan in a 1v2. This was a full pistol situation here for Regain. And they have found themselves on top in this scenario. Bomb still in the hands of Dylan. Is going to start pushing his way back into T-spawn. Just slipped the net. We have only 35 seconds to play with. He's probably going to have to start running once he crosses through T.
There becomes a risk if any of the Regain members here, and they have heard the footsteps, so they will get this rotation underway. There's going to be a level of paranoia. Dylan could still re-enter through elbow. That's going to force Dirk to go hunting. Grape hears the footsteps. Didn't go for the peek, just waits for Dirk to make his arrival, but they're going to have no idea what hit him. It's Grape. The hat trick for him, and map point for Regain.
Yeah, what a big round for them. Grape really coming alive, but that was just such a good little bit of a bait and switch. Zukar taking that initial contact on that flank, forcing the ramp holder to turn around, and that's Sasha running down the ramp. They are just so in sync. That's one thing you can say about this team. Their playbook might not be too deep. It might just be everyone go kill, but they play so well off of each other. That's why their trades are so consistent. And right now they find themselves in a great situation.
Round 23. Villainous having to sell their shoes for this buy. 2 MAC-10s, an upgraded pistol in the hands of Sung, but the volley of utility over the top of the B site isn't going to have an effect, except for locking out all of Regain. You have to position themselves for this retake because there's plenty of utility in their faces. Panic, not a lot of HP to work with, so the Bogdan's Law will come into effect. Damage has been done towards Villainous. A wide swing from Jolts will be his demise as Zukar collects his scalp, but Honest has arrived. He's made his entrance, but he's not needed in the end. It's Regain to take their own map pick of Ancient, 13-10.
Me oh my, what a close game. Regain started this one off to 1, and then Villainous making it so very close, but Regain able to regain their mentality there and able to just close it out. And none other than the man we talked about for so much in the pre-show, really just single-handedly dragging the corpse of that team through 4 rounds, getting about 14 kills across that span. And man, what a match there from Honest.
Yeah, regardless, I think if you're a fan of Regain or not, that has to be a spectacle if you're a fan of Counter-Strike in general. The talent on Honest, considering he's 18 years old, is absolutely bananas, if you ask me. So I've been highly touted on him, and he's clearly coming through, at least in terms of map 1. But T-Noodle, we still have Anubis waiting in the wings, and that's where it becomes a little bit more of a question, because Regain, although they had struggles in the midway point of this map, it felt like they were still able to make the adjustments necessary.
Yeah, their trades are just consistent, right? Villainous just kept going deep into their strat book. I know it's going to be very much so deeper on Anubis. But if the trades are just so consistent, every time you saw some kind of action there from the side of Regain, you'd see some kind of reaction on the other side of that map, whether it be supporting in a way or just playing off of that space that might have been created from it. Everyone knows where each other is at all times. And that's just great to see. I know it's the top of advanced here. These players should be knowing it, but it's not something you always get to see every time you watch. And these guys, they just know everything about each other, and they just play so well off of each other. So that's always tough to bet against.
Yeah, and if you're looking to play off of each other better in your own matches, make sure to check out one of the companies that helps put on Crossfire Season 5. That is SCL. They have warm-up servers. They have retakes. They have practice servers for you. I know they've recently released a scrim finder and scrim servers, so whether you're looking to build some structure into your own gameplay or as a team, make sure to check out scl.gg and get started. But T-Noodle, we're going to send it to a short break before we find out whether or not Honest can carry his team to a 2-0 victory.
This live stream is sponsored by SCL, an all-in-one CS2 training platform with a practice server, 2D viewer, and unique training modes like Defense Mode. Defend sites against bot executes that get harder every round. And Trade Fire, a pre-fire mode where enemies actually try to trade you. You can run every mode in co-op and track your progress and stats across all your training. Plus, you get an advanced 2D demo viewer. Use code Crossfire40 for 40% off your first month. That's under $3.
Feel you in my arms, it's the best. I don't ever wanna let go. See you in my head, and I don't know if I wanna let go. Happy days come around when I'm finna go. Sad boy got the silence when he in the room. Listen to the drop, I've been taking on time, it's a lot. Spending all the cookies and I'm locked. Looking on the beat that is cocked. Living my life, but I'm feeling the pain. I'm taking my life together, rearrange. I remember we were broke, now it's music all day. Not talking seasons, but it's all about the Coldplay. Never ever ever stop, even when I hate to say. I just gotta keep doing my thing if you ever need me. And I keep on thinking of you. And I keep on dreaming of you. Yeah, I can't even feel when we're both alone tonight. Yeah. And I keep on thinking of you. And I keep on dreaming of you. And I keep on dreaming. I can't even feel when we're both alone tonight. Oh yeah, okay. She said, promise me nothing's gonna change, cause honestly, I've been on my brain like constantly. I've been going on my way. She said, I've been going on my way just to trust. And told me I'm so down to earth like what you thought it was. And I'm really starting to think I'm coming undone. Starting to lose the feeling every single time we touch. Can I get a warning before you switch on me? Or can you tell me to my face that you don't want me? This shit been waiting on me and I feel like concrete. But lately it been seeming like I know you hardly. You good at talking shit when I'm saying sorry. And I don't think for real the two would be my shorty. And when I go around your friends, they always looking salty. And if I walk away, then they gon' diss me probably. You not loving me no more, I'm just a losing. I just wanna know who you think you fooling. Heartbreak hotel, I'm about to moving. She said, promise me nothing's gonna change, cause honestly, I've been on my brain like constantly. I've been going on my way. She said, I've been going on my way just to trust. And told me I'm so down to earth like what you thought it was. And I'm really starting to think I'm coming undone. Starting to lose the feeling every single time we touch. All these bitches play too much and that's the issue. I can't fuck with none of them, man, I can't pretend to. And how you going ghost after everything we've been through? I'm sending SOS cause I don't get the signals. I'm looking up and I can't use an angel. I wish we could go back to being strangers. I know that you're going through stages. I'm beginning to think we toxic and I'm dangerous. You're not loving me no more, I'm just a losing. I just wanna know who you think you're fooling. Heartbreak hotel, I'm out of moving. She said, promise me nothing's gonna change, cause honestly, I've been on my brain like constantly. I've been going on my way. She said, I've been going on my way just to trust. And told me I'm so down to earth like what you thought it was. And I'm really starting to think I'm coming undone. Starting to lose the feeling every single time we touch.
This is the emergency broadcast system. The CDC is advising that you stay in your home.
We show up.
We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody.
We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party.
We show up in the party. We show up in the party. We show up in the party. We show up in the party. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody.
We show up in the party, flyer than everybody.
We show up in the party, flyer than everybody.
We show up in the party.
We show up in the party. We show up in the party. show up in the party. We show up in the party.
You never had any patience. It's like a vision you couldn't see clear, yeah. And now our life's a conversation. You bet it's only one side of love. I hear you saying, you say you like me better all the way. And I swear that I try, but I was so blind. They say it works good if you let them stay. So I count my ties, this is my good. And now I'm saying,
Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to map number 2 between Villainous and Regain. This being the map pick of Villainous. And we talked about it, Tino, before we went to break, that this map is going to be a little bit of a question mark in our eyes as whether or not Honest can really keep the momentum that he had rolling or whether or not Villainous's strat book goes deep enough.
Yeah, we're going to see what happens here. It's going to be a quick play here by the T side, by the Regain side, right going through middle. Seems to be pushing all the way through that temple. Yeah, over towards this B site. This push here from the CT side. Sunk already getting gushed. Things getting awkward. It's going to be 1-for-1. Of course, it's going to be Honest. Hitting that opener. Dirk has to find this kill, but it's going to be Zukar right with the backstab. Jolts, Panic, Dylan. They're going to be on this 3v4 deficit on this retake. Honest right up close in this E-box. Gonna swing, but Zukar coming alive with these kills, and it's going to be the whole team coming alive here. 1-0. Once again, another pistol here for Regain.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about, a little bit of a aim battle versus depth of strategy style of matchup, at least coming into Anubis. Round number 1 definitely being in favor of the raw mechanics, but as we head further in, I definitely expect that coin to be flipped on its head. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of potential that Villainous are going to start fighting and vying for this Canal's control, but to what extent we're actually going to see that becomes the next question, and how soon we're going to see it is also being raised. But again, for the time being, passive approach outside B main and outside A, just waiting for any overzealous swings from the likes of this Villainous roster, and Honest will collect his first.
Man, if there was a little cam to see me every time I see Honest get a kill, I just get a smile on my face because it's just so consistent in the mechanics. You see, like, even a simple kill like that, you just know how patient he was. You just know he's just playing it right. This kid is just so good, like we talked about. We're just glazing him this whole time. But yeah, right now they're just recollecting outside B. One player on A bomb site. Zukar doing a lot of work so far this game. It's only 2 rounds in. And side, not yet sure what they want to do. Looks like they're finally committing to this B bomb site. It's free as well. Both B and A were free. And oh god, he actually put the camera on the screen. And yeah, here we go.
Number's going to be punched in. 45 seconds turned into 40. Jolts has burrowed in towards the long cubby, but there is a long flank coming around as well, as we saw earlier. Sasha going to be the one, sorry, that's Zukar actually on that long flank through Temple. Will not be able to clear out deep long. The Jolts will have free residency for the time being. Sasha's going to play hall monitor. But Villainous are a little bit removed from the situation. Maybe just looking to take the upgraded pistols into the next. Maybe even trying to find some exit kills. But when Regain are deathballing as they currently are, it feels like there's no possibility that you find kills. Panic going to be overwhelmed, but does actually make me eat my words. We'll take one down. Dylan finds a second. Brennan is good for the cleanup. So Dunk has a P250. That's all he's going to be able to take into this round 3. But still, 2 rounds in a row for Regain. The exact kind of start that you want on your opponent's map pick.
And then we're looking at this first gun round, right? Only 1 kid on the board on Burglar. Util, it's solid, but it's not as great as you'd like it to be. So Villainous gonna have to be thinner on their strat book here. See what they decide to do. Re right now going up towards B. Wondering if there's gonna be an aggressive play of sorts somewhere here, or if it's just gonna stack early. Right now we're seeing Regain position heavily towards this A-bomb site.
Yeah, early utility. Camera smoke. Molotov does find the same mark, so Molotov going to be completely negated. Early utility, though, has drawn reinforcements back into camera. You see that Dylan has been drawn off of the B-bomb site as well to offer a little bit of surveillance, but how much information he's actually going to gather, I think, is going to be minimal. Molotov back Nico, but still no one home. Feels like it's a matter of time until contact is made. Pop flash in towards Temple, but Rape is going to come out on top of the duel. Uncle waits in the smoke. Might actually go charging through, but it would be to his demise. As he walks in, Rape is able to separate the head from the shoulders. It's going to be the collapse of the A-bomb site, but Panic's going to be the only one here to try and add some foundation. But to no avail. Jolts and Burglar, all they can do is cut their losses, take the rifles into the next round, and hope that they get to live and see round number 4. Because as it currently stands, Regain have been on a dominant roll, but Burglar's able to catch one off guard. It will be an AK if he's able to make the escape, actually the M4. And already a little bit of attacks being taken off of Regain.
And what I like from that round from Regain, it was just playing on the fact that they knew the other team was going to have such light utility. So that was that initial bit of util that they threw on. And by the time that second hit off that split came through, there was no util left to even contest it. I mean, the duel still went their way, but there was nothing to stop anything. Even if some of the trades went the way of CT side, there's just nothing that Villainous could have done to stop a split like that because there was nothing left in their tool belt.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of that pressure, or a lot of the missteps that Villainous were making in that round were off the back of the pressure Regain were applying, because it felt like there wasn't a lot of utility towards B. It was more so focused towards A, but as soon as the supporting pieces came into play for Regain, they had all of the control that they could ask for. To start off round 4, though, Zukar is going to collect the first step to this puzzle. It's Burglar to throw his life away, and Jolts is being whittled away by the HE grenades, but narrowly gets to cross back into Pizza. Jolts is going to go hunting through this smoke instead, or maybe even just looking to block someone trying to walk through.
That was the M4 drop from Burglar. That was the only gun they had bringing into it. Got blown away by a nade.
Top out, forces Jolts into the fight. Honest good for the trade. Knows there's a second player still here, but can't identify where they are just yet. Sasha cleans up through E-Box, and Panic, all he has is a 5-7 to contend with. A possibility at 1, but anything more is a little bit of a blessing. A resmoke towards Temple to completely dissuade this retake, even an entrance into this fight. As the bomb timer ticks away, Regain will find a 4th.
It was a heads-up play. I'm not sure which player did it, but they noticed that the M4 was that first gun peeking and taken out right away at that door. Someone threw a nade a little bit deeper, so it forced it, so that guy was not able to pick it up. It was just a real heads-up play, and once again, we're seeing another heads-up play with a nade. Sasha able to pick that one up, and yeah, Regain are just cruising right now. We're going to be seeing another real good gun round here coming from Villainous. Sunk, he was kind of quiet with Bob last game. We'll see if that changes his gear on Anubis.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Anubis is a map that kind of enables that AWP better, whether it's through Evox, through A main, or even just maintaining position back towards mid. So I'm expecting that the op being brought into the server will have a substantial amount of impact, purely based on the map that we're playing as well. Really push through A main. Panic going to respond with some utility of his own, but still an Evox peek is being had from Burglar.
Like that flash, like that aggressive play here. Burglar and company down into the canals, but it's not going to work out for them. It's Zukar. And Honest, Zukar has kind of been having himself a game so far. Only 4-2, but they've been very impactful kills so far. Find themselves in a 5v3 advantage. Jolt's trying to regress. We'll find Honest. It is the heavy hitter, but it's going to be Dirk collapsing on the other bomb site. That's going to lead the charge over to B. 2 Panic will get that kill back, but he finds himself in a 1v3 deficit. Once again, Zukar, this guy likes inspecting his weaponry. We saw this a lot on Ancient. And yeah, but it's a 1v3. Really tough here for Panic to come back on this one.
He was thinking about the silent drop. Zukar has to go flying to convert the kill instead. And might have to go back and steal that silent drop lineup, because that is pretty nifty if you ask me. I think that goes to show the experience that Villainous do have on this map. But in terms of how it's playing into the matchup, it doesn't feel all that great. Down by 5, going on round number 6. And Sasha has picked up a MAC-10, so maybe a little bit of shock and awe in the docket for this regain lineup.
Yeah, I mean, Villainous has a choice here, right? It's like they buy, it's gonna be a crap buy. It's not gonna be as good as you want. However, you're down 5 rounds. Like, what else are you supposed to do here? But if they don't buy that MAC-10, they're gonna be forcing Sasha really aggressive somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised if they just send him kind of like super aggro solo somewhere. Someone's just gonna be a little bit of a delayed trade on him, a little bit further back, in the other 3 somewhere else, just to draw the attention. Other 3 go somewhere. But I mean, I guess we're gonna see what Regain has up in store.
And just to give you an update on some of the other matches, we have Beyond Limits taking on Club 333. That's live on Beyond Limits channel. They currently are on map 3. Hold the thought for another time, though. The mid-exchange does happen. Dylan's able to walk away with 1 kill, but Sasha is going hunting. A little bit overzealous for my liking, as Sunk will collect 2 kills for the Troubles. In the blink of an eye, Regain have the man disadvantage. MAC-10 has been picked up for Sunk, so still a fight to be had back towards mid, but Panic's able to capitalize on the confusion as Zukar unassumingly walks to his death. It's Grape in the 1v4. Whether or not he'll convert, going to be a long road to the top. Desert Eagle spamming, reveals 1 location, but still this Crossfire being held in towards mid has yet to been broken. A block smoke to dissuade the peak, but the bomb on the back and a flank towards mid bridge, so possibility for a pivot based on where this next kill comes from, but Burglar walks through the smoke. Panic is going to be the one to put the cherry on top. It's the donut into the breadstick for Villainous.
Yeah, really, Regain kind of just ran themselves into a lot of close-range players, and there was that MP9. There were those upgraded pistols that were able to just do the work. Sunk really did a bunch of heavy lifting there with those 2 big Deagle kills that really kicked them into high gear to close that one out. But now that puts them into a really good situational buy. They have all the util they need. They got 3 kits on the board in this op, ready to play aggressive.
Opportunity to play aggressive doesn't always come with the fruits. Zukar going to knock on the doorstep of this A bomb site. The AWP has already made a rotation for the likes of Villainous, but the HE grenade is surely to soften some up. Panic able to actually find a kill with that HE, so Honest drop down to 34 HP is not going to be the next on the chopping block. It's Sasha instead. Sunk is the executioner and the guillotine being his op, but is forced right back by the one person you'd expect it. Honest to try and spearhead this comeback. And the Heaven Smoke has given him room to work. Still looking for the isolated fight, but Molotov is just there to buy some sort of space. A smoke towards camera to allow Dirk to pick up the bomb, but Honest is looking for the fight. It's the proper play, but the HE grenade rings out from Heaven. Molly hits him in the face. And an exchange of utility leads to the numbers being slightly askewed towards Villainous.
Reposition here from the Villainous side, wanting to put all 3 players together. Want to make sure they have these trades online. Timing not working for Dirk. However, he's able to get 1 and gone. He has fallen away. This reposition is great here from Dirk. They find themselves in the 2v2. Honest finds 1. Now it's going to go
Beautiful.
1 for 1, and the trade comes up from Dirk. What a play between both of those guys. That's why they are the carries of this team.
I mean, and you talked about it as well, that these players have such good chemistry, and they've played the game for long enough to be able to cover each other's angles, and I think that's a testament to exactly what we've been high on this whole series, is the fact that Regain, although the strat book might not be all too deep, they have the protocols in place, they have the fundamentals of the game down enough to be able to rashly play around the map.
Going back into this round, Sunk was able to invest into another op until 1MP9 still on the board. It's very light here for Villainous. Regain have a very commanding position of this map so far. This is the map pick of Villainous. They are down 1-0 in this series.
Double set up into A main as well. Sunk holding for the swing. Panic going to be the reactionary player. Regain, they don't even want to test the waters. Jolts has an advanced position into B main, could soil this split that's slowly being cooked up from Regain. The utility in E-Box should draw some attention. It should force the fact that Jolts needs to find the kill, but he won't be able to step up to the plate once more. Burglar is going to be the only player home, but he has no opportunity against the AK of Dirk. So with the utility reigning over the top, even though some miss, Honest is still going to brute force his way in. The numbers should be punched in, so 30 seconds will be extended into 40. And Sasha has an advanced position towards Pizza to be able to deter any early retakes, but you can see the positioning of these Villainous members. They want to take everything that they have into the next round, but Zukar is the thief in the night. He's ripping the rifles away, and Dylan only has an M4. A recovery mission of the op at best, but Honest is covering his tracks and separates the head. It's 7-1 for Regain.
Yeah, they are just cleaning up on this game. Everyone coming alive. It really started off with Grape really cracking open that B-bomb site really early. Everyone on this team can shoot. We talked about in the pregame. It's Honest and Dirk's show, but man, the rest of the supporting cast, they can support. It's the reason they're at this point, right? They know where each other's going to be there. Know everyone's commitments to this team, where everyone's going to be playing, how they're going to be playing. And everyone just comes alive. This is going to be a very bad buy here coming from the Villainous side as they look to claw back into this one. It almost feels like it's already run away.
At most, even if Villainous were to start winning right now, they'd only be able to find that 7-5 half. And considering they don't have the best of firepower, they're going to need to pull the ace from out of the sleeve. Dirk has an AWP, is maintaining Overwatch, but that 7.62 bullet goes right through the chest of Jolts. It's great to collect a second, but whether or not Regain are going to expect Burglar to still be close by, I'm not too sure. Molotov to force anyone from close. Position has been towards mid. Flashbang to clear Panic out, but Sunk instead is going to be the one to walk away with a head. He's been on fire with the Desert Eagle, and single-handedly, he has dissuaded Regain from vying for this mid control. All three members of Villainous has arrived, but Honest is already taking space towards A, and he's found the opening that his team needs. Dirk has to convert with the Glock, but the double swing towards camera gets completely blocked out because the exposure is too low. It's Zukar for 2, and Regain on to 8.
And Zukar is straight up cooking. It's just fun every time he gets a kill because it's just the positioning is so well. I know we just continuously glaze every single player here on this Regain squad, but they've given us a lot to glaze. They've been dominant throughout the night. I mean, it was a very close first map, right? It slipped in the middle a little bit, but they were able to close it out. And Regain just going back to their normal ways, right? Not necessarily pugging it out, but just moving through, kind of like a battering ram, just everyone just trading through together. And this is just a really good class here from Regain.
Yeah, and I mean, the bank account's fully padded, so even if they were to lose a round, you'd have rifles back into the next. Dirk making that T-sided AWP looking effortless. Regain instead, round 10, are going to fully pressurize this B bomb site. They've closed the walls around. Burglar thinks he's cleared out all of Canals, but Zukar's maintained hidden angle, and Burglar will actually come out on top of the duel. This is an opportunity for him to shift the tides of this early round, and Jolts has collected. It's all Dylan, as Jolts will hit the floor for the op shot, but Grape finds 2. A swing through the smoke with the FAMAS grants Panic the final kill, and Villainous have finally put another round onto the board after what felt like the longest of dry spells.
Yeah, I felt like that positioning there from Zukar, like you said, it's like, oh man, he might have gotten there completely unspotted. We saw him get right underneath the off. We saw Burglar not really see him. Fortunately, Zukar not able to win that fight out. But that gives Villainous kind of an avenue back into this one. We saw last game, it was a 6-1 deficit. They're able to claw back and make it a very close one. 8-1 is the scenario this time, but they're in a situation where they can really make this util, make this weaponry work for them.
Yeah, Panic going to be lined up on the chopping block, Molotov in hand. Dirk's going to be the executioner this time. That just gives the troops the go-ahead to put the pedal to the metal. Zukar has his head ripped off as the response. But Dirk's still trying to maintain Overwatch. There's been a reposition, but Honest doesn't care. He tears through your defense, tears through the rotations, and wants it all. It's 2 kills for him. Sasha put a cherry on top, but Jolt's all he can do is wait for his moment to activate and hope he's been overshadowed, because as it currently stands, he has been. Not going to pull the trigger on Honest just yet, but still has an optimal position to pull this off. He has to let Honest go. The angle's not there, but as soon as the kill comes onto the AWP, Honest responds. It's a 9th for Regain.
Dude, Honest is, dude, there are 2 things that are going to be consistent throughout this whole match, right? Honest is going to take your head off, and Zukar's going to die while inspecting his gun. That's just something we've been seeing. Both those things throughout this whole game. I got to talk to the guy about this because that's just hilarious. But anyway, 9-2 is the lead. Regain just absolutely tearing it up. And in these forward plays, even when you see someone just going crazy aggro, it just puts Villainous on their heels. Even if they're able to catch that kill, it just forces them into such awkward positions on their CT side. Right now, Panic trying to change it up. They're getting really aggro here on A main. They're getting a lot of kills. Make it 3. It goes 3 for 1 in the trades, but Sasha gets 2. It's another trade there coming up online here. Now finding himself in a 1v3 is great. We've seen a lot of clutches from him before. It's not going to be this round as Dylan does close it out. And it's going to be 3 on the board here for Villainous.
Yeah, but the question then becomes, how much breathing room do Villainous actually need to get started on their own T side? Because if Regain played this CT-sided pistol perfectly, then they're already going to be at the deficit. Regain will have double digits, will surely buy into that next round. So Villainous, at minimum, need to get a bomb planted here in round 13.
I mean, you just have to play mistake-free pretty much, right? You can't give any of those accidental rounds over to Regain, and then that's just the game that Regain has to play. They play confident, and right now they're going to be stacking towards this A site. There's going to be 3 players there and 1 already on a quick rotate here towards camera.
Yeah, the dual Berettas of Zukar and Honest. Zukar going to take the first contact. Zukar always inspecting the dual Berettas, but maybe it works to his favor. Honest activates, finds 1, but Zukar's on for the hat trick and collects it. Dylan takes 2 Berettas back into his hands, but the jiggle doesn't work in his favor. Sasha not able to find the kill, but Dirk is making the rotation towards camera. Dylan has the bomb on the back. Doesn't have to commit just yet. He still wants to try and break down this doorstep, and Dirk's going to say, no way. It's double digits for Regain. Off to the races in the second half.
Yeah, what a read there from Regain. I just happened to gamble on the right bomb site, and it worked out for them. 10-3 now is the scoreline. They're going to have the weaponry. Villainous, they're going to be put in a situation where they're going to have to save, and really, now that's really the point. Once you get those guns out where you have to play absolutely mistake-free, and you're playing for your life in this tournament, because they're down 1-0 in this series, and if they lose this map, they're out of the tournament.
Ooh, there's a little bit of a statement being made. Burglar says we're not going down without a fight. Double peek back into E-Box from both Grape and Zukar. Result, Zukar finding his first in the round. Honest, put between a rock and a hard place, has to commit to one angle or the other. But as he clears towards bridge, players are going to walk up. The first of which being Jolts. Honest still has the back turn, but reacts in the nick of time. Spots the shadow, able to knock both down. And an 11th for Regain, and even when Honest is caught off guard, it feels like he's so cool, calm, and collected with his kills, but still Villainous. Just no foothold in their own map pick of Anubis. And there has to be some form of sweat starting to form on the brow.
Yeah, I mean, Regain is just so consistent. I mean, I don't know what's going on in the mentality of Villainous, but those me and my squad is like, you know what, there's only so much you can do, right? You're going to do what you can on this round. But I mean, when the rest of the squad is just playing this way, it's really tough. see if they can isolate him somewhere, but if they can't find him early, it's really a tough ladder to climb up.
Violence falls across the map. As Villainous try to find some sort of opening into the defense that Regain have left open. That hole is going to be back towards mid. Nobody from the likes of Villainous has gone prodding just yet. Panic converts a kill onto Sasha. Honest right there for the trade, but has averted this gaze back towards mid. It's where Dylan's trying to establish his presence. But it's only to cut off the rotations. The bomb's starting to head towards the B bomb site. And Burglar is only conscious of at least 2 players here. 2 are going to be close in fact, but still, Dirk waits in the back of the site. Honest on the activation towards mid, finds the spot. Will thin out the numbers. And the double swing comes towards E-Box. Zukar going to be responsible for the death of Burglar. But now Jolt's and Sunk. It feels like they're pressured into making this site hit happen. And they're going to try and burst right through. The smoke to dissuade any sort of vision. But Sunk will not find a favorable fight. It'll be Honest to collect 2. 4 in the round. And throw Regain onto series point.
I mean, it just tells you like the gravity that Honest has, right? He gets the trade over on that A bomb site, and the other team, Villainous, they're like, all right, well, we're gonna have to go B this round, right, guys? And then they do just that. They're trying to go for this 3-1 split, but Honest, knowing how much gravity he pulls, he already switched over Temple, playing on that angle, already ready to cut off that angle. That was that lurk gone. Goes onto the B site, cleans the rest of them up. He is just doing everything for his team, even when the rest of his team doesn't need it necessarily, because his team is playing good too. Now we're seeing a mid-rush here. Honest and Zukar will be getting 2 early kills. It's only going to be Dylan and Sunk as the remaining 2 players collecting the bomb in B main. And it's a really tall task, so I think might be deciding to just head into B, call it a day, or if they're just trying to rotate out.
Not drawn off the angle. Smoke towards bridge. But only Sunk has been discovered. Dylan still has the bomb, but hasn't made his presence known just yet. But Villainous, it feels like they already know what waits around the corner. Because all Regain have to do is sit back and wait for these models to walk into the crosshairs. Dylan takes the close timing. The crossfire established on the A bomb site. Similarly to the B site. The rifle picked up in mid is the only audio cue that both Sasha and Honest need. Honest swings with the AK-47, converts 1, and wrangles the spray to find a second. It's Regain in 2-0 fashion to eliminate Villainous out of Crossfire Season 5.
Man, this is crazy because going into this game, right, we were like, all right, Ancient, all right, Regain should definitely pick it up. Anubis, it's a toss-up. That was not a toss-up at all. They just dominated them. That was disgusting. And, you know, there's a reason Regain has been in the finals every season of Crossfire. There's a reason they dominated last season. But, man, they are just showing that they are definitely a top team in this NA scene for a reason. And I'm just excited to see how they continue.
Yeah, and I mean, to put the spotlight on one player, I feel like it goes without saying that it has to be Honest that we talk about. I mean, an absolutely dominant performance on Ancient carried that over into Anubis, where it felt like his team was still felt throughout the map. It wasn't just the one-man army coming from him, but still, I mean, Honest being able to put the team in the backpack on Ancient feels amazing. And I mean, Regain will move on to play against the winner of Festina Lente and Raised by Pixels, which is also going on currently on one of our good friends Floofy's channels. But Noodle, I mean, any kind of post thoughts after that? Because it was a not one-sided victory, but still, it just felt like it was a rollover.
Yeah, I mean, it just felt very, very consistent with what we've seen, what we were talking about in the pregame, right? It's a very good team dynamic. You have Honest and Dirk as the star players, but then at the end of the day, these guys can all really raise to the occasion when they need to. We saw Ancient get a little bit close, but at the end of the day, that's kind of what happens in CS2. You slip one round, you overbuy, and then all of a sudden it's 4 rounds in a row, and that's what happened to I'm blanking on that regain on their CT side. Once they switched over, they weren't able to get consistent with that. But once they settled in, once Honest went crazy in the 3-round span, they were able to just close it out. So I mean, they showed us that once again they're the team to beat, and they showed us who they are.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, I liked what I saw, but Pat, if you liked what you saw, we were using myhud, one of the other companies that helps put on Crossfire Season 5. Whether you're a streamer, a content creator, or just looking to make analytic videos, myhud is the perfect HUD for you. You're able to adjust and tweak the settings as you'd like, add sponsors to the bottom of the screen, and you get the full minimap overview. So if you're looking to take advantage of that, make sure to check out myhud.app. And T-Noodle, what more do you expect going into the final, or into the playoffs, deeper into the playoffs of Crossfire Season 5? Because as it currently stands, I've been riding high on Honest even when he was on Outfit 49, but with Regain putting up a dominant performance against a team the likes of Villainous, I feel like it's pretty convincing.
Yeah, I mean, we always have that high expectation for this Regain squad. It's somehow that expectation has been rose even higher. I expect them to be in the final. That being said, I mean, we're at the upper echelon of Crossfire. Any one of these guys can steal a map or steal a series any given day from anyone. So I mean, I guess we're gonna see, because Overtake Sector, let's not forget, they might be on the other side of that bracket, but they kind of gave it to Regain earlier in the season. So I mean, anything's possible here.
Yeah, I 100% agree, but we will have to wait and see. That's going to be it from us over here on the Crossfire channel. Like I said, we have 2 other matches going on, one of those being Festina Lente versus Raised by Pixels on our good friend Floofy's channel. The other one being, I'm trying to pull it up, I'm blanking on what it is, Beyond Limits versus Club 333, which is going on Beyond Limits channel. So there's always some Counter-Strike action when you're watching Crossfire. But Mr. T-Noodle, that's going to be it from us over here, and we will catch you on the flip side.
This live stream is sponsored by SCL, an all-in-one CS2 training platform with a practice server, 2D viewer, and unique training modes like Defense Mode. Defend sites against bot executes that get harder every round. And Trade Fire, a pre-fire mode where enemies actually try to trade you. You can run every mode in co-op and track your progress and stats across all your training. Plus, you get an advanced 2D demo viewer. Use code Crossfire40 for 40% off your first month. That's under $3.
Why do I have to stay here on the ground? It's overrated. The cityscape escapes you with a sound. It's delineated. I waited at the station for a